Hi, it's Kevin May in the PhocusWire studio. Delighted to be joined by Norris, the CEO of Exosonic. So thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. So it's and I've written this down because I knew I'd get the order wrong. It's a Mach 1.8 60-seater supersonic passenger aircraft.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that idea?
It's been something that generally I've been thinking about for a long time, just faster travel and how to accomplish that. And it took me a while, like over a decade, to kind of figure out what the solution would be after working in the aerospace industry for a while.
I was going to say, you must have a technical background if you've been thinking about this stuff, right?
Yeah. So I went to UCLA for my bachelor's in aerospace, and then worked in industry at 3 different companies as a propulsion engineer, all on vehicles that break the sound barrier.
Okay, so talk to us a little, without going into too much kind of avionics and things like that, but a little bit of the kind of the technical background and how far away from achieving that are you?
For the aircraft or for myself?
for the aircraft.
Okay, sounds good. I mean, the aircraft is, in a sense, a conventional sort of supersonic aircraft. However, we add a few things to it. Like, we want to make sure that it can mute the sonic boom, and so we do that by shaping the fuselage to do that. And so a lot of aerodynamic kind of shaping techniques that NASA has been developing for 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many people on the team have got the engineering background?
So far, we're a very small team, so it's like 2 people. We have some contractors. All of us have engineering backgrounds.
Okay.
However, like, I don't do as much engineering anymore, but I just support a little bit of the propulsion work. My CTO and co-founder does most of it.
Okay, so this is a really early stage idea, right?
Yeah.
So how is that going in the conversations that you clearly need to be having with, whether it's regulators, manufacturers, and all those kind of things? Give us a sense of how that's going.
Yeah, so we've been lucky enough to talk to some airlines and people in the airline industry in general to get some feedback about this business model, about our modeling in general of their business case, and seeing if our business case fits within theirs. We've talked to some suppliers like engine OEMs, and we recently were awarded a US Air Force contract. And so that's been helpful in getting a little bit more validation from people, and also talking to other suppliers.
Okay, so supersonic, it's obviously fast. So tell us a little bit about what is the passenger experience going to be like in the cabin, as it were?
Yeah, so famously, like the Concorde, passengers didn't even know that they were breaking the sound barrier when they were, or when they're flying, Mach 2, it didn't seem like anything crazy. I think the most different experience is probably takeoff. In the Concorde's case, they had an afterburner, so you really hit seated back because of the acceleration. We're not thinking of using afterburners, but the takeoff might be a little bit more aggressive than your regular subsonic aircraft.
Okay, define aggressive for us.
It's not going to be like totally crazy, like not a roller coaster or anything.
Okay,
like
that was good.
Yeah.
So like a small jolt, or?
It'll be just like maybe a longer acceleration period.
Okay.
Yeah, but nothing too dramatic.
So, it's a passenger, you're talking to airlines about this. Is there anything at an infrastructure level for airports that will need to be factored in?
We don't think so. No, we're not heavy like an A380. Apparently they had to change runways to make the A380 fit. We should install right into regular jet bridges and gates.
Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully we use more sustainable aviation fuel. So I think just airports in general, as we move forward to a more greener, sustainable future, we'll just need more greener fuels at airports.
Okay, and give us a sense of the size of it comparable to a current aircraft.
Yeah, so it's the size of a 787.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's...
Why only 60 seats?
Mostly because the fuselage is kind of like probably narrower than what you would have on a 787.
Okay, so what's the configuration? Is it 2 aisle 2 or?
Yeah, it's a 2 aisle 2 for now.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have room in the front for probably a 1+1, like business lie flat or something.
Okay, and there's a galley and all those
lavatories,
Okay.
All that stuff.
So how comparable to the Concorde is it in terms of London to New York, if it was lucky to get that route?
Yeah, I think it's comparable times. Like Concorde did it in like 3.5 hours. We'd be probably like 3.5 hours, maybe a little bit longer. Concorde flew like Mach 2.02. We'll fly Mach 1.8. not too big of a difference.
Okay. No, it's fascinating. And I suppose the last question, Norris, is around air traffic control. So obviously they deal with they obviously deal with military stuff, but you're landing at civilian airports.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since the Concorde was flying. So how are the kind of conversations going with the FAA and the CAA in the UK, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, we need to have those conversations.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we've
That's
talked
a
to
potential problem for your entire business if they just say that this is not going to fly, for pardon the pun.
So it's good in a sense that we're second in the market, right? Because there are people in front of us that are already pushing that. So we're all aligned, and that we want to have these supersonic takeoff regulations set and work to those. And so our competitors are out there talking to the FAA, pushing those along. Mm-hmm. That helps the industry as a whole. And we've had some conversations with one person in the FAA that we need to continue having.
Yeah.
But as we develop the concept, we want to be ready for those conversations with them as well.
Okay. And the two biggest manufacturers in the world, Boeing and Airbus, surely they're kind of thinking about this kind of stuff as well, right?
I think Boeing is, but mostly through their investment in Aerion, which is a supersonic business jet company. I don't know if they're thinking about passenger size. They have in the past, but I don't think recently.
Yeah.
Airbus, I haven't heard anything from them about it. But then again, it's a pretty small market from what we've determined. It's around 300 aircraft, and both of them usually go for 1,000+ aircraft markets.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Norris T, thank you very much for joining. Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.